We'll call this meeting of the Ag Appropriations Subcommittee to order. And I want to begin by thanking Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins for being here today. We appreciate you being here. We also appreciate you getting out and about around the country as you have and getting a chance to meet with our great farmers and ranchers in our respective states. So thanks so much for that as well. I'm very pleased to be joined by Senator Jean Shaheen. As you can tell, she is very young, but she and I were actually governors together.
We were both very young.
Starting about 25 years ago, when she was a teenager and I was not as old as I am now. And so we've had opportunity to work together as governors, and we work together on various appropriations committees like Homeland Security and others. And I just want to welcome her in this new role as the ranking member on the Ag Appropriations Committee, and just express how much I appreciate her and working with her. So welcome, and really good to have you on the committee. Also, we're joined by our chairman of the Full Appropriations Committee, who also, we've worked together a long time, and she's providing a strong leadership for the Appropriations Committee and doing everything in her power to see that we get back to regular order. And so I would pause here for just a minute and ask if our chairman would like to make a few comments. Chairman Collins.
I just want to say that I am absolutely delighted that Senator Hoeven is chair of this committee and that Senator Shaheen is the vice chair. That means this subcommittee is in very good hands, and we welcome the secretary.
Thank you, Chairman. Again, Secretary, thanks for being here today. We appreciate you and appreciate you being here right away to talk about this ag appropriations budget. You had a great chance out in North Dakota, and I know you've been to other states as well, to see what our farmers and ranchers are doing out there firsthand. But I know you really don't, that's not new to you, having grown up on a ranch, which is incredibly important that you have that background, and then having gone to Texas A&M and ag school.
Well said. Thank you.
And a very good one at
Thanks.
that. And they play reasonably good football, too, last
Yeah.
I checked.
Until November, but yes.
Yeah, well, we're, again, and we are pleased that you're getting out and about like you are, and that you're with us here today.
Thank you.
Obviously, our farmers and ranchers across the country are dealing with a lot of challenges right now. They always deal with challenges, whether it's markets, whether it's prices, and certainly always the weather, none of which they control. So it's vitally important that we do a good job for them in our farm program, but also in the things that we do here in the Ag Appropriations Committee, as well as the countercyclical safety net and the other things that we think of, crop insurance, that our farmers and ranchers need every day to stay in business. Mm-hmm. And we can't, as you and I have talked about before, we have in agriculture about 16 million people that work either directly or indirectly in agriculture. We have a system of small businesses out there in farming and ranching, family-based small businesses that produce the highest quality, lowest cost food supply in the world that benefits every single American every single day. And we as Americans spend less on our food and have the best food and the best choice, and we spend less as a percent of our budget than pretty much any developed country in the world, brought to us by our family farms and ranches, and that we can't take that for granted.
Yeah.
There's so much concentration in so many industries, and we have to recognize that it's not by accident that we have this great system. And so good farm policy is so important to keeping that, and it benefits every single American. Well, you were out in our state, you saw North Dakota State University and the incredible work that our land-grant universities do, like A&M, and many others. But you also got to see the amazing new technology that's coming with precision ag. Mm-hmm. Grand Farm example that we showed you out there of really leading the world with precision agriculture, as well as the research and so forth that's being done in tandem with land-grant universities through NIFA, ARS, your research function, and our farmers and ranchers, which has revolutionized agriculture. When I grew up in western North Dakota, we could grow a couple row crops. Now our state grows 40 different crops, and we lead the country in about 15 of them, which we try to rub into South Dakota as often as we can, because they do great stuff too. And we appreciate all of our ag states very much. So again, that's what we're talking about here today. And so the funding for these programs, when we talk to you about FSA and all these things, out on the ground, we've got to make sure we're getting it done for our farmers and our ranchers every single day. So we want to find savings. We want to work with you to find savings, but we got to know that we're still going to deliver that service that keeps those family businesses, those farms and ranchers going every single day to the benefit of every single American. Secretary, so at the end of the year, we ended up with a one-year extension of the Farm Bill because we did not have agreement to update the countercyclical safety net like we need to, which, as you know, we're working on very hard. But with that one-year extension, we put in place $33.5 million in emergency assistance for the $33.5 billion for the $10 billion that is market conditions based. We put a number of conditions on it. One, that you would start providing it within 90 days, and that you would follow a format called WIP Plus, which we put in the statute back in 2017. You did both. And you started dispersing, or started the process of dispersing March 19th. I think of that 10, you're probably closing on $7 billion. You've already dispersed. My state, it's about $500 million. I think, you already referenced the ranking member and other states as well. That is how we want to work with you. So I want to put right out front, that's how we want to work between this subcommittee and I think Senator Bozeman will tell you our ag committee, full ag committee, and USDA. So then I just want to step over now to the weather-based $20 billion. What's your plan on that for getting it going and kind of the format, so we know? We're getting questions on that now from our producers.
That's right. So we are within days of announcing the application process. Of course, that's a little more complicated because we don't have the specifics, and it isn't, as you mentioned, in North Dakota, 15,794 of your farmers and ranchers have received money through that first tranche, through the first $10 billion, the emergency aid. On the weather-related programs, that application opens in the next week or two, and we will be moving very, very quickly. We realize that this is a long time coming, and it's related to disasters that happened a while ago. And so ensuring that we get that out as quickly as we possibly can with the team that we have in place. I'm really proud of, I believe, how efficiently and how quickly the team moved out that first tranche. And I believe that you'll see the same sort of efficiency and effectiveness with the second tranche. So it's within the coming weeks.
And I know you have to wait till you get the data from the different locations that had the weather disasters. Like in our case, it was fires and ranchers that, we lost some lives, not only cattle, but lives of people.
Yeah.
And so I know you have to wait to get that data, but you're thinking within weeks time frame. Okay.
By the end of the month, the applications will be open and we'll be moving out. Now, we've already moved out the $280 million to the Texas Department of Agriculture for the water issue in South Texas with the Mexicans. And so the ones that were specifically named in the legislation that you all worked on so hard, those have already moved. Those have been moving for a little while. But this next round, the big round, will be within the next few weeks.
Yeah, and that's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
And that's, again, in line with what we passed, and so I appreciate that very much. Restructuring USDA, we all want to find waste, fraud, and abuse. We want to find savings, efficiencies, reductions. Clearly, here in D.C., I think there's plenty of room for that in terms of reducing the size and scope of the bureaucracy. One of the keys for us, though, out on the ground, you and I have talked about it, and I know you know this, is FSA. Talk to me about how we make sure that we have those frontline FSA officers or employees out there working directly with our farmers and ranchers. That's key. So talk about. So again, yeah, we definitely, and we're seeing the reductions in the bureaucracy. Again, we want to find those, but we want the frontline folks out there, the hands-on folks.
I don't know, at least at USDA, if there's any role more important than those frontline FSA offices, and those remain a priority. Of course, right next to that is our wildland firefighters as we're moving into wildfire season. That is extremely important in being operationally ready, which we are. Also our APHIS, our veterinarians, et cetera, those are as important. But the FSA operators that are managing and working with our farmers and our ranchers every single day, it is not in our plan to close any of those offices. There are 4,500, I think, total across the country, which is a big number. But we're also working to be, again, more efficient with online, et cetera, technical assistance, et cetera, that in the future may not rely so much as so much on and on the ground presence. But today, we can't rip that rug out from underneath our farmers and producers, and that remains a priority. I signed a memorandum, I don't know, maybe last week, all the days are running together, that put as a priority ensuring that those offices are fully staffed. As I know we all in this room know, often hiring in rural America is a little bit more difficult because you just don't have the numbers of people. But what I have told the team, and as we continue to focus on rural prosperity moving forward, is that finding the men and women out there, the patriotic Americans that are willing to work around the clock. We already have a lot of that in the FSA, but I think we can do better and more. So we'll be spending some good time on that moving forward.